keeps getting better like a good wine. I think this film is a great example of why documentaries are my favorite part of any festival, but certainly here at Sidewalk. You just can't make this stuff up. And I'm glad you stuck around because it's a huge story. Who could have planned that stuff? And again, that's what makes great documentaries. The ups and downs, the tears, the laughter. And we have here, of course, a very familiar face. Traveling on the road, literally in a van, he's going to talk about it. Eric Zala from the film.
Wow, thank you guys. It's wonderful to be back in Birmingham. We love the Sidewalk Film Festival. Thank you guys for having us and for the great intro, Alan. As promised, I'd be delighted to take any questions that you folks have about this wild ride of remaking Raiders has been. From started when we were 12 and finished when we were 19, and yeah, it seems to kind of keep coming back. What would you guys like to know? Yep.
Who knows? You and Beard right there. You and Beard, that's saying everybody. What are you working on now?
So the question is, what am I working on now? Aside from getting to the next tour gig, that is. This is, I should mention, stop 52 of a 64-city tour. We've actually got the Raiders wrapped RV bus parked outside. Just got in did Biloxi last night, heading back there tomorrow. Most immediately, we're finishing out the tour, which runs through end of September, heading to the East Coast and Baltimore, and actually doing a Comic-Con themed cruise in January, which is going to be kind of cool. But aside from those doc promotional things, we're working on actually 3 projects. Rolling Boulder is, yeah, we don't forget our roots. There's an original script that we did, that Chris and I worked on. Let me just get this out of the way. We're not going to do Temple of Doom, the adaptation. Maybe someone will pick up the torch. But no, it's a Southern Gothic action adventure, an original piece that we probably worked on in every hotel room and airport gate for like a decade of touring with Raiders. Second project is a book, actually, an Alabama author, Robert McGammon, Gone South, which we love very much and would love to bring to the screen. And then thirdly, Tim Skousen, the co-director of the doc that you just saw, contacted Chris and I afterwards, and he's asked if Rolling Boulder could produce his next film, actually, a dark, cerebral, sci-fi, post-apocalyptic tale of survival. The working title is The Flare. So, those are the 3 projects that we've got on the hopper. We'll see. Thanks for the question. What else would you guys like to know? How much allowance did I get? I think $5. Had to scrub all 5 bathrooms, as I recall, and vacuum the house. There's downsides to having a big sprawling house, even if it's got a cool basement that could be used as an improvised soundstage. What else would you guys like to know? Yes?
Your son seems appropriately enamored of you. Any filmmaking or anything?
Well, thank you for that. Question is, any filmmaking aspirations in Quinn? Actually, of the 2 kids, Darcy, who doesn't give anything over than 4.5 stars, has actually expressed her desire to grow up and be a director, which I'm thrilled. You know, she's on the road with me and has actually begun shooting her own film while we're in the RV. The title is The Addiction. And I think it's a commentary piece about her older brother Quinn's like for video games. She likes to boss Daddy and her big brother around. Yes. So the neighborhood kids who were extras back in the day, did they do it for fun? Was it a paid gig? Oh yeah, no, we certainly couldn't have afforded anybody. So it was all free, but you know, some stuck and some didn't. I would have this dog-eared list of neighborhood kids' names and phone numbers, and I'd call through like a telemarketer. hey Jimmy, do you want to be in the Arab this weekend? Oh, come on, I know it rained last time, but come on, Jimmy, it'll be fun. You know. So we range from people that came back year after year to like the girl whose VW Bug convertible that we use in the truck scene for the staff car, she showed up once and never showed up again. And so we milked every frame of that VW Bug in the truck sequences we possibly could. It was just enough. But yeah, free. And so there's some real diehards like Alan Stenham, who played Zala, whom we saw in our Milwaukee stop. In Dallas, Sean Cotter, who played the sergeant that tussles with Indy in the cab and throws Indy through the windshield. Good times. Anyway, what else would you guys like to know? Yes?
What did you tell your boss when you quit your job?
What did I tell my boss when I quit my job? Yeah, I put a lot of thought into that one, and I'll just say you go through all sorts of fantasies, or whatnot. But I took the high road. I gave him 2 months' notice, and to give him time to line up someone to replace me. But and I say the high road because it was a frustrating thing. That time off that I took was respectively 2 blocks, one 3 days and another 5 days, scheduled months in advance. I'd accrued the PTO, and it was actually not, ironically, during a slow time. This was during E3. Those of you who follow the video game industry, the Electronic Entertainment Arts Expo in Los Angeles. In short, everyone in the industry is away from the computer at the convention, away from email, and there was no crisis. And had I sacrificed not just what I wanted, but it was kind of bigger than me at that point. So many people sacrificed so many things, so much work into making the airplane scene a reality that I couldn't. And having been put through that emotional sort of meat grinder to return to nothing, just felt wrong. The conversation, the documentary guys edited out some of the harsher bits, actually, so as to kind of keep the original recording. But I didn't go into that too much when I talked to Alex. He did say to me, though, I don't get the Raiders thing. I don't have anything in my life that I'm really that passionate about, so I don't get this thing. And so in short, we agreed to disagree. Thanks for the question. What else would you guys like to know? Yes? Did we edit ourselves, is the question. Yeah, talking about back when we were kids, I suppose. We actually got, the only way that we could edit was getting access at the local TV station of the editing equipment when it wasn't being used. That is 10 o'clock at night to 6 in the morning. So we lived like vampires that following that last summer. And I think the technician gave us like a 10-minute seminar on how to edit from deck A to deck B, total linear, these 3/4 inch tape pneumatic decks, dinosaurs by today's standards, 2 audio tracks. And yeah, with 5 minutes of instruction, we're left in a closet-sized editing cubicle room and edited the previous 6 years worth of footage. But as tough as that was, it was a really joyous process, finally seeing these pieces after years coming together as I'd imagined in my head, so that part was bliss. What else would you guys like to know? Yeah? What format did we start with and what did we end with? I mentioned you talking about back in the day. Betamax originally and then VHS. Of course, for the airplane scene, we played up the continuity chasm and went different formats, slightly more recent for that. What else would you guys like to know? Before we take any further questions, one of the coolest things about this tour is to be reunited with people important to you in your life. And I'd like to share with you guys, introduce you to a buddy of mine. You might recognize our adult chaperone, Peter Kiefer. Come on up here, Mr.